All right, everyone, what is up? Welcome back. So, got a fun video today, and it's actually going to be probably at least, well, I'd say two-part, hopefully not three, but two parts. I'm ripping into the 80 series. I am going to install new gears, new lockers, and rebuild some other components like bearings and things like that. In the garage, I got my parts all laid out. Now, these parts have been collected probably over a good year and a half. You know, some I've had for that long, and I just been piecing stuff together with a huge thanks to all the people from my live stream that helped contribute to the car fund. And it's a huge help, and over time it builds up and able to do stuff like this. And I'll tell you why. I'll show you. A lot of people don't talk about how much this stuff costs. A lot of people get it given to them for free or sponsored, but this is all out of pocket. So to start off here, we've got a box from East Coast Gear Supply, Master Install Kit. So what this does is when you're doing a gear change, it gives you all your bearings and your crush washers and things like that that you need. If you're doing a whole install like I am, you definitely need Master Install Kits. So I've got a Master Install Kit for the front. I've got a Master Install Kit for, I meant the rear. This is the rear, full floating axle. This is the front, which is a high pinion reverse cut overhaul kit with a special slinger, oil slinger, because it is high pinion and reverse cut. So I've got Master Install Kit, Master Install Kit. The rear needs a new pinion flange and yoke because of the spline count. And then here is a set of gears for the front, and then on the bottom is a set of gears for the rear. Both going 488 gears, upgrading to 488s from 411s. So that's everything in this box. This box, $1,000. Then I've got a Eaton e-lockers for the front and rear, 1200, 1200. So keep up with the price. 1,000, 1200, 1200. I've got some. So the axles that were in the 80 were original, and I did replace one for the driver's side when I first got it because it was gushing out, and it was. I have a video on it. There was such a cut in where the seal goes that it wouldn't work. So I replaced it with an inexpensive one, and now that's going to become a spare. But I bought these. I bought a while ago. These are RCV axles. So you got the long side, the short side. This is for the front, the steering axle. So when you hear people say they break something in their front end, it's usually this CV joint right here. But these are gun drilled, so you can re-grease your CVs without tearing everything apart. And these are really, really nice. Here's the sealing surface right here and here. So new front axles. I do not have new rear axles, but the beauty of the rear is that it's a full floating axle. So if I do want to replace them, or I do have an issue, I can pull them out and put in new ones without messing anything up. And unlike the front where you have to rip the whole knuckle apart to get to it. And you'll see all that in the video today, because today is the teardown day where I'm going to get everything torn off the front, and I'm going to get everything torn out of the front so I can pull the diff, everything torn out of the rear so I can pull out the diff. The other things that I have is this is the knuckle rebuild kit. So it's got oil seals, it's got all the felts, it's got knuckle bearings to replace the bearings. Here's one of the oil seals. This goes around that and seals. So that's basically a complete overhaul kit for the 80 series front axle. And then one upgrade that I'm doing. So this is the hub. You can see the hub. The axle runs inside here, out to the drive flange on the end. And here's where your wheel bearings go. They run on these surfaces. Now, all the outside of this is the same as what's on there. The difference is on the inside, these are needle bearings, where the other one, so this is off a 100 series Land Cruiser, and the 80 series just has this bronze bushing. So the axle runs through here, and it just is held by a bronze bushing. This one actually has needle bearings, so that's an upgrade. So I got two of those. I've got all new studs because I found some broken ones on the bottom of the knuckle, which if that comes off, your steering goes out. So luckily I found that here, and I've got one new drive flange because I replaced the drive flange on the driver's side. This for the passenger side. So this little piece right here, this is what drives your wheel. The axle comes right through here, and this is what drives. So it's got just those 6 bolts there. You know, we got these really heavy duty chromoly or 300M axles. Everyone's like, oh, I got to upgrade my axles. It still comes down to 6 little studs and a drive flange, front and rear. It's the same thing. It's got a drive flange. Now they do have pins, but they have 6 small bolts that only are like 14 or 16 foot-pounds that you tighten those down with. So this is my stuff that's going back in. This is like the rebuild stuff. You know, I got fresh caps for the end, fresh crush washers for the diff drains. In here is the wheel bearing kit from Koyo and Toyota. These are for the front wheel bearings. I have collecting everything, 80 series, 60 series, Lexus stuff. It's all there. But I pulled everything out, and this is it. So I got axles, I've got hubs, rebuild kits, electric locker, 2 master install kits, 488 gears. So now it's time to rip everything apart so we can start going back together with all this stuff.